I'm not mean. I'm funny.
Now so it's the last day of 2025.
It is indeed.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy.
So let's see, we're going to continue our conversation. Last time I think, introduced ourselves a little bit, which, in our conversational style doesn't make as much sense, but we're here. I thought it would be fun for us to reminisce a little bit because I love to reminisce.
It's your favorite thing to do.
It is, which is weird because some people in my family don't like to reminisce as much. Or, yeah, really. But let's see what we can do. I'm curious, what is your version of the story of how we met?
Okay. We were in the same class in college. We were both industrial engineering majors. So Brian was a year ahead of me, but we ended up in this, senior level class together with the person who happened to be our favorite professor.
So you were a junior in the senior level class. Is that what you're implying there?
No, it was just an upper level class.
Okay.
I'm not implying anything. There was no implication of any sort. You could also imply that Brian had skipped a grade and that's why he was a senior ahead of me if we're implying things.
Oh, well, thank you.
So anyway, we were in the same class. I guess I know what Brian's story is about that class, but the way I remember him kind of coming into my consciousness was there was also this club associated with our major, which was industrial engineering. And Brian was like the president of some sort of club about that major. I don't know what it was called. It was obviously really meaningful to me.
It was the Institute of Industrial Engineers local Madison chapter.
Great. That's what it was.
Yeah. I was the vice president.
I just remember I got letters with your name on it like earlier in the year, like signing because you sent out letters. Like I could remember
seeing people?
I remember seeing your signature. Yeah. So I had your name in my head and then I saw I would go to these meetings and you were kind of leading them. That's how I remember you. I don't know how we became friends though.
Well, yeah, so we were in this club. So leading into my version, I definitely remember you from that class, Professor Gustafson's class, IE
466.
Nice. And he was an awesome teacher, by the way. But Claire would come in a little bit late. And so we'd all be seated in this class. And then, of course, it's winter in Wisconsin. And so Claire would shuttle in.
From the front, the door was in the front of the class.
In the front of the class.
That was classic.
And then sneak her way down the side while everyone's looking at her. In a jacket that was blue and orange. If you've ever seen, what's that show? That 70s show. Eric Foreman.
It's a classic.
Used to wear that classic jacket. And I guess he wore it in the 70s and Claire wore it in the 90s. But it was still
cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so that's where I just noticed her. And then one story I really remember is that Joel and I had a joint graduation party.
Oh, yeah.
And it was held at the Regent Street Retreat. And there's a whole story there where I hired my family to do the music, but I didn't realize I was hiring them. I thought they were helping out. And long story short, I get to the end of the night and you and one of your friends, was it?
Amy was there.
Amy.
Yeah.
And Joel and I, after that whole, you guys just kept hanging out much later. And then I remember Joel saying, I think Claire likes one of us. and then he's like, oh, and he had just started dating somebody. And so he's like, I kind of hope it's you. And I said, I kind of hope it's me too. And now that didn't mean we started dating immediately after that, because then we went on that.
Because neither of us has any game.
No game.
So sad.
Whatsoever.
So sad.
So we ended up spending the summer together on the bar tour of Madison, which was some weird thing that we just decided to invent. And again, you really didn't even drink, but you just kept coming along until finally our friend Trisha connected us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's kind of how it went. I also remember as part of the the IIE group that you were the president of, we went to Brewers games.
Oh, yeah.
And so I don't know if we went to one as part of that and I rode with you or if that was later, but I do remember that was a big part of it, the Brewers games.
And so then we started probably officially dating that fall of 97.
Yeah.
And then we were together for a good year and a half by the time spring of 99 rolled around, which potentially starts to get us into a little bit of the topic that we teased at the end of last week. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
I'd love to not talk
your
about
favorite thing.
So
in whatever version you're comfortable with.
I have cystic fibrosis. It's a genetic disease. It really, really sucks. I don't think I want to talk too much about the details of it, but by the time I had I don't know, I knew you for maybe a year, and my health started going really downhill. And I'm talking really, 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 really downhill.
Yeah.
So I needed a lung transplant, which is the short version. So where are we going with
So
that?
you had to get on a list.
Yeah.
Right? What you see in the movies is kind of real in that regard.
Yeah. Back then you had the list. There was no prioritizing if you were sicker. Whoever got on the list first was the first person to get lungs. They've changed it since then, but so I had to wait 9 months, and during that time I was basically
Homebound.
I mean, I was tethered to oxygen. I couldn't drive because it would make me so out of breath. I really couldn't do anything.
Your mom came down to live with you full time.
Yep.
Right.
Boy, and did that suck.
Oh.
I mean, I love my mom, but being a senior in college and then having to live with your mom and watching your friends graduate, that was incredibly tough.
Yeah. And it was just a game of waiting
And not knowing, because if I didn't have the lung transplant, I would have been dead, definitely within 2 years, probably within 1. I mean, you never know, but once you get that fragile, the smallest thing can kind of just kill you.
And I remember there was all this discussion about when should you get on the list? When is it the right time? Are you sick enough? Are you not sick enough? And I don't know. I just remember a lot of back and forth there, but thankfully you got on that list.
Yeah.
And then in February, I remember this on Valentine's Day, your pager went off.
Yeah, that's how long ago it was. It was a pager.
Yeah. And oh my God, everyone was excited. Your parents drove all the way down.
Did they drive all the way down for the
They drove
dry
all
run?
the way down to about Sun Prairie.
Okay.
So they got about 20 minutes from our apartment.
And then they said, no, these aren't, I can't remember if someone else got them or they weren't any good. I don't remember why. But it was a no-go.
And we learned, I think, at that point to kind of hold back, or just wait till it actually happened.
But also,
right?
That was actually a really good thing because it meant I was at the top of the list.
Oh,
Prior
yeah.
to that, I didn't know where I was on the list, and they don't really give you that information. So having a dry run, while it kind of sucked, it was good because I'm like, okay, that means I don't have to wait a year. It means I have to wait probably months, which was really good. And it turned out I had to wait.
Well, you waited one more month and got another page. And I remember because it was on St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
So strangely specific on these holidays.
Are you sure there was one on?
Yes.
Okay.
I
He
just
remembers
because
better
it was
than me.
so weird. And I was thinking do things happen on these special days that maybe cause people to pass away or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
More people on the roads, or I don't know. But anyway, we didn't get too excited about that one. It's like when you get matched on an adoption, you have to keep your expectations in check. So your parents didn't drive down, and good thing they didn't because that wasn't a match either. And then again, the third try was April 16th.
Yeah.
It happened to be. And I think you got your transplant the next day on the 17th, which is also another unique day. Do you remember why?
It's my half birthday.
Yeah, because it's your half birthday.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for me to remember
Yeah, that's easier.
It probably helps Brian remember. I think I will always remember the date, but yeah.
So I think it's a fascinating story. I think so we got this page and we said, should it be real? We told your parents to hang back. And then we probably worked with things for like 4 or 5 hours as I remember it. And then we were like, okay, this one's real. And then they came down. But we showed up to the University of Wisconsin. They just said, go to the emergency room.
Yep.
We're like, okay.
Yeah. And then it was like no emergency room visit before or since, because you just could skip over everybody and
it was the best.
Go directly to, don't pass go directly to transplant. So if you ever want to bypass the ER, get your name on the list for an organ transplant. They'll let you right through.
Just a little aside, the last ER visit we had was probably the absolute worst.
Like the most recent.
The most recent one. Yeah.
It was
24 hours worth.
It's gotten bad. Worse. Yeah.
So we get there and they're like, oh yeah, here, you come on back. And they prepped you.
For I can't remember what there was for prep, but it took a long time. And then we were just waiting and waiting. We waited all night into the morning.
I think the whole time we were once you got prepped, then we called your parents and they drove all the way down 3.5 hours away or 4 hours away. And we were just waiting that whole time.
Yeah. And that was like the middle of the night when they were driving. And my mom always likes to remind us, the Northern Lights were out that night.
Oh, I see.
So big. She said she's never seen them like that since then. And
oh, wow.
It really sticks in her mind.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I do recall, so we probably got to the ER by 5 o'clock, and I was trying to 5 p.m. on Friday, and I think around 11 is when I'm like, Claire, I can't keep your interest anymore. I'm out of material.
No, I swear it was longer, way longer.
It was hours of me, entertaining you with jokes.
Which you did not need to do, but you
I was trying so hard.
Did.
And towards the end, I was just sitting there and I don't know, I'm like, I'm out of material, man.
And what did I say to you?
You said, I think that happened a couple hours ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, that tells a lot about how nice you are, or maybe you were just really ill.
How funny I am?
No, that you waited 2 hours of bad jokes to tell me that I was out of material.
Oh, okay. That doesn't strike me as nice because, of course, I gave you a burn at the end, but after all your hard work.
But yeah. But then your parents got there, and then I think they were about to roll you in.
I got to see my parents before.
You did
before the.
But I think I said goodbye and left before you officially went into surgery, just by a split second. It wasn't long,
perhaps.
But I think your parents were like, "Well, why don't you go home and get some sleep?"
I remember. This is not about you, sorry, but I remember before the transplant, my thoughts were, finally, it's over. Whether this surgery succeeds or fails, I don't have to live like this anymore. So, I did not want to die, but I did not want to live the way I was living. So either way, I was like, let's do this for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe once or twice have I ever asked you, what was going through your mind at that point? And that sounds like it's kind of it. Let's do this one way or another. Yeah,
let's just do this. There's so much stuff in my life that I didn't want to do. But the fact that hope existed for me, which didn't exist when I was growing up, it's been a miracle how long I've lived since then.
Yeah, really long, because I don't think they keep track of the data past 5 years. Right?
Well, they don't report it I don't think they report it. And so when I had the transplant, I was 23, and the statistics they gave were you have a 50% chance, or 50% of people will live 5 years and 50% of people will not. I can't remember what the 1 year survival rate was.
It actually depended a lot on the place that you had your transplant.
Okay.
That's what I remember. And Madison Wisconsin had pretty good stats, but
At
it
the
wasn't
time.
like it was maybe 85%.
Yeah.
It wasn't 99.9
No.
at all.
No, this was this isn't an elective thing. This is your shot. So.
And how long were you? Oh, you made the news or something, didn't you? For all your emails.
Oh, we're going to go there, are we?
Yes.
Oh, good.
So tell me about that.
I have no idea why it happened, but I do recall being on some local news segment talking about how great it was. Oh, I know. The hospital was like pumped because they had a computer on the floor for the patients.
This is 1999.
Yeah. And so I was able to check my email and I bragged about how many emails I'd had
in the 2 weeks
in the 2 weeks that I had been there recovering.
Wasn't it like 40?
Yeah.
I think it was 40.
And it was like, I don't think there was spam then.
I don't think so either. And I bet 39 of them were people wishing you well, not 39 of them spamming you.
It definitely wasn't. Yeah. Yeah, you like to bring that one up.
I do.
Yeah, it's funny.
What are your memories of the University of Wisconsin Hospital? Like, if I were to ask that, like what?
Oh, God.
I mean, because it goes way back, right?
Yeah, I mean,
way back.
We're really digging in.
Yeah. This is a very special episode of the I'm Not Mean, I'm Funny podcast.
I don't want to cry. Okay, so that hospital is the worst design in the history.
Don't cry about that.
I'm not going to cry about that. In the history of mankind, it's got these like square modules, but the squares are connected like at the points like diamonds, and then they're stacked up on top of each other. But then each floor is different than the previous floor. So like the navigation that you understand for the main floor, it's completely different. If you go up one floor, they have the hallways going like they're either crossing the middle of the square or they're going around the outside, and it's ridiculous.
So you have to learn a completely different wayfinding based on the floor that you're on.
And I will tell you that I knew every floor, every place that you can go and you shouldn't go. Mm-hmm. I walked those halls a lot as a child.
Wasn't there like a special dessert or something that your mom or you would go for, like when because they always didn't have everything always the same.
I don't remember.
Maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
Was this like secret snack bar in the basement.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of.
I think it was called Herbs.
Herbs, the secret snack bar.
Herbs, the secret snack bar. They had like popcorn and basically junk food. Which as a kid, I wasn't a huge junk food fan, which kind of sounds lame, but I wasn't.
I think I know why. Are you interested?
Sure, go ahead. Take a shot, Brian.
I'm interested in junk food for the same reason I'm interested in sweet cereals, because my mom would put them in the special cupboard that you were not to touch and not to eat. But your upbringing was all about putting weight on you and pushing food in you. And so you had the complete opposite experience of me.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I liked sugar too. Yeah. But when sugar is pushed on you, which in the long run, they learn later, that's really bad for someone with cystic fibrosis. It's bad for anybody, but people with cystic fibrosis eventually can develop diabetes. So the calories that I was getting shoved on me, well, they were high calorie and I needed them. They weren't the most healthy choices. But it wasn't junk food. It was just whatever food.
High caloric.
Whatever
foods.
food, whatever food there was, I needed to eat more. And like, I'm sure it's very hard for people who don't have that issue. Like, oh, that'd be great. It's not great when you have to gain weight and you're not hungry and because your body like is tired. Yeah.
And I remember hearing tales about how when your mom would take you down with your sister to go for an appointment.
Yes.
And Katie. And your sister would nudge you and ask you if you thought maybe you should ask Mom to stop at
I'm
McDonald's?
going to correct you
Okay,
there.
please.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar, but so what happened was we would always go to McDonald's and get me a big milkshake. And
Just before weigh-in.
And that was my, that was my mom's like, okay, one last gasp, but we'll keep her out of the hospital this time if she's got her weight up. And the story that you're associating with Katie is like other times just throughout like our childhood when Katie would say, Claire, don't you want to go to McDonald's and get a sundae? Tell Mom you do, which I mean, it's good leverage. But I wouldn't I wouldn't do it for her every time.
You wanted to hold that power.
Because I didn't want one or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie. I mean, yes.
I want to ask a little bit about your nature, right? Because I think our natures are formed in our childhood, and I think about this because you've made friends lately, through online groups and stuff with other people that have CF and who've had lung transplants, and there's just like this consistency I've noticed looking in from the outside of the way that you all approach the world. And also, you're the third person that I've ever met with cystic fibrosis, and the two people that I met before had the same-ness about them.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's an awesomeness, I think.
Well, it is basically a no bullshit attitude. Like, I don't have time for your bullshit, and I'm not even gonna like pay attention for a second if you're a waste of my time, because we don't have any time. And things are really, really hard. And I don't want somebody to blow, sunshine out my ass. I don't know if that's the expression I'm going for, but like, I don't want false positivity. And I don't think that everybody with CF is like that. But a lot of the people who are really sick, really young, it makes you different.
Well, there's like a resilience that leads to that. Do you think all people with cystic fibrosis have a sarcastic sense of humor?
No.
That's just you.
Correct. It's not just me. It's definitely not just me.
That's only you in the world, Claire, that has that? Thanks for clarifying.
No, but it's not there. But there are some people with CF who, I mean, everybody approaches it differently. We're all different people. It's just this one thing is the same. And yeah.
Can you tell the story about the person who was drawing your blood in the lobby of the hospital? It was a weird situation, I remember.
So like, this is along the lines of, don't waste my time. So if you have spent enough time in the hospital, you will come into contact with people who are learning. If you're at a university or a research hospital, people need to learn.
They do.
And it's totally legitimate. But if you're someone like me who has been there in that spot a million times and then has had negative experiences because someone doesn't know what they're doing, you have no patience. And for me, my opinion is I have taught enough people. I'm not here to be your testing ground
anymore. Yeah.
And maybe it's not fair, but I can't do that. And so Brian likes the story of how I was getting my blood drawn and
this poor person looked.
It's just so obviously a trainee. And
she was very nervous.
Did you see it?
I was there.
You were there. You watched it?
I watched it. And she was just like shaking. She was so nervous.
Right. Before we even set,
she was intimidated by Claire.
But how did she know to be intimidated by me? Okay. But I could see that. And I'm like, okay, you get one stick. I'll let you learn on me. You get one try. If you fail, we'll go to someone who knows how to do it. We're not going to be.
Then she started shaking more.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that she. Yeah, but the closer she got with the needle to my arm, her hand was shaking bigger and bigger, and it shook so much that she actually scraped my skin with the needle. And I said, "Okay, that's one stick. You're done." I knew it was going to be a disaster. a disaster. She can practice on someone with good veins. If she's the level of where she can't even approach you with a needle, she needs to be aiming for big, fat veins, not veins that roll and are valvy and all that stuff, which
are yours,
which are mine and many people with CF.
I wonder if they told her when she was coming in to draw your blood, if they said something like, oh, she's a CF patient.
No.
And I wonder if that means, like, in the industry, that they don't
her.
take any crap.
No. But we don't take crap. Like, we will stand up. Well, I hope most of us will stand up for ourselves in medical situations because it's not necessary. Like, some people are just bad, but generally speaking, it's not the people in giving you your care who are bad, but the system can end up royally, like, endangering your life. Now, there are some comical things that have happened too, but like generally, generally,
you need to stand up for yourself.
You
for sure.
have to. You like, if you're not conscious, you need someone in the hospital to be sitting there and watching them because things get screwed up,
and sometimes not even on purpose.
Definitely not on purpose, but yeah. So going to the hospital it's quite stressful. Anybody who's ever spent like more than like a day or two in the hospital will probably have the same story. You don't have any power. You don't have any control. You're stripped of your clothes. You're stripped of like how your body's working for you or not working for you. And it's kind of dehumanizing. And then on top of it, the system doesn't work right. And so they're giving you the wrong pills at the wrong time, especially if you're someone like me who has all this experience, even as a kid, taking care of myself.
And if we close the loop on the beeping from last episode, that's another thing that's a hassle in the hospital.
Oh, yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, people with CF often develop diabetes. Fun.
Just another fun
like
little
we didn't
treat.
Need anything. Okay. Like we didn't need something more. Okay. So I have a glucose monitor and an insulin pump, and they work together. And it's actually a DIY system, meaning because people who have diabetes are, I don't know, experienced in knowing what they need. Some people have developed these applications and that help the glucose monitor and the insulin pump work together
in a closed loop. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's finally actually coming out to be FDA approved in a bunch of systems now. But previously, it was a DIY system where if you couldn't compile it and kind of put it on your device yourself and figure out a lot of the stuff behind it, it was too much. The people who created these programs can't be liable for it. So anyway, it's called DIY, even though I didn't program it. But it's a pain in the butt in the hospital because they want to kind of micromanage your diabetes, but they want to do it their way.
And poorly.
Well, poorly because they don't know your body. All they know is the algorithms they have for every person. And they're usually doing it for people who are type 1 diabetics, and cystic fibrosis diabetes is actually different. And they just don't have room for that. It's a hospital. There's no time. But so in the hospital, I have to write down my blood sugar for them and do all this stuff and sign a waiver. And, but at least it gives me a little power back if I'm up to being conscious of what my blood sugar is.
And the beeping is when you're high or low or your batteries are running out, and it always goes off in the places that you're not supposed to have sound. And there's sorry, I can't do anything.
I live you cannot turn the alarm off.
You cannot turn it off, which makes sense,
right?
But it doesn't help when you're at a ballet. It makes sense
from the FDA standpoint. They don't want the company doesn't want to get sued if you want to have your alarm off, but then you die because you didn't hear your alarm. That's bad.
But if you're at Fred Armisen's comedy show and it's going off, you're like, quick, turn it off.
Yeah. You gotta have it in your hand to be ready.
Well, I think what I want to do is, one of the other traits I would say is kind of a tell it like it is manner.
Yeah.
And that, comes into play in many cases, but I think that's something we should definitely talk about next time.
Sounds good.
All right. Cool. Thanks. And let's talk again real soon.
Sounds great.
All right. Bye. Claire really does have a tendency to tell it like it is, and it shows up in the weirdest ways. So you'll have to listen next week to hear the full story.